I'm going to be showing you 2 methods to cut number cakes. My client asked me to make her, she ordered her own birthday cake for her 80th birthday tomorrow, and it's in the shape of an 8 and a 0. It's kind of like a cream tart, although the actual cake part is very different. That's more of a cookie. We're doing a cake, and I'm not torting it because that's not what she wants. She wants things on top. My client wants an 8 and a 0, so I have 2 methods to show you. One is the 8 is going to be made out of 2 8-inch round pans, stainless steel, not nonstick, and you can see I've used them. That's closest to an 8, so I chose that one. But the other method, I'm using a Wilton number pan, and I'll show you that. That is non-stick, so the type of coating does make a difference. Make sure you treat all of your pans, no matter what kind you're using, because cake will stick, because it's caramelizing the sugar, and no matter what you do, if you don't treat the pan, even if it says non-stick, it will stick. The 0 I made in this Wilton numbers pan, and it comes in a nice kit. I've had this for not 100 years, but it feels like it. And I use it kind of often. And they give you inserts of different shapes because you can configure numbers. And then it comes with this, and you can do the alphabet, right? Now you can only do one at a time, unfortunately, unless you buy 2 cans. But if you have a name that's really long, you'll be baking forever. So I'm doing the 0, which is the B and the C, not the super long one, because this would not give me, can't see that. Let me turn it. This would not give me symmetry between. So yeah, this has 2 sections all the way around. So it advocates using the B and the C for that reason. So you get a symmetrical number. Also, when it's cooked, baked, you use this on the edges, on the corners, to round it out. Now I don't want it to be as blocky as the pan, so I'm matching the curves similar to the curves of the 8. So I'm going to show you how to use the corner cutter that comes with, although it doesn't come with the center. Oh, excuse me, it did. I have to use 4-inch cookie cutters for the 8-inch pan. You could use 2 7/8 or 2 1/2. You can cut whatever size you want. You don't even have to cut any. Leave the cake and just darken the center. But I'm going to cut it out because she's extra and I'm extra. So it's all good. Now, this is the pan. I apologize because it's dirty, but I wanted to show you that it actually worked. And because I sprayed cooking spray in it, no matter what pans you have, treat your pans. And it got a little bit, but it was no problem. There is a little spillage underneath the bottom here, and it was very minimal because the weight of the batter that's in there will keep it down. So it's quite ingenious. But there was a little bit in there. I ate it. No judgment. You don't have to eat it. You can save it for making crumbs. You can throw it away. You can do whatever you like with it. But there is a tiny bit of batter leakage in the center of whatever configuration, whatever these are called, with the kit. Okay. These, I have 2 sizes. I'm not sure which one I want to use. This is a little bit more than 4 inches, like 4 1/8. And this is 3 7/8. I said 2 7/8 earlier, but that would be 3-inch. So these are close to 4-inch. One is under, one is over. I don't know why. I can't give you one that's exact. Whatevs. Let me get my cakes. So when you turn out the number pan, you're left with a number. 0. In this case, it's 0. So I don't have to do anything with this except, break off a little piece, clean it up a little, but you do still need to crumb coat it, but it has a nice finished edge to it, and I don't need to tort it because she doesn't want it torted like a cream tart would be 2 layers, but this is only going to be 1 layer of cake. So doesn't matter which side you have. I might flip it over to have this on the bottom. Doesn't matter. So I don't have to do anything to the 0 except cut off the corners, which is really nice. And thank you, Wilton. Move this over because counters are never big enough. Pull this up a bit. Okay, so I need to follow the guide. This is rough. This is a suggestion. You don't even have to do it. So it says hold, and these are fairly thin edges, so it's great for cutting. So I want to do, now this is why they have the squares, that you can use them as a guide. So, does it say that? No. So I can hold the corner from one corner to another, or go shorter, make it a bit more blocky, or I can make it a bit more rounded, and I'm going to make it a bit more rounded. Now, make sure your cakes are fully cooled and even a bit chilled. That makes for a nicer cut, cleaner cut, no matter what you're cutting with. You'll always get a better cut when it is cooled, fully cooled and a bit chilled, which these are. So do that one, and what's my reference? Don't go this far because that's something different. So just be mindful. So these are really helpful guides, and this, you know, takes the guesswork out of it. Nobody cares. Oh, I cut too much off this one, but that's okay. I can put it back with buttercream. Because you see my side, maybe I need more out of that one. Yep, cut too much. Because I was supposed to go this way, not that way. I knew there was something wrong because I can't talk and do that at the same time. No problem. So what I could do is cut this again and put this back. Is that what I need? Yeah. So I need to cut this instead and put all this back on it. So let's see what happens. And you can cement it together with buttercream. It will be a little bit different, but because this is going to be covered with flowers, buttercream, I have wafer paper flowers and cookies to put on top. This puppy's going to be loaded, so no one is going to notice. You can eat these, but I'm going to wait in case I put them back and just cut off one corner. Lots of ways to do this. No way is wrong. It's your art. Do what makes you happy. All right, now let me cut this correctly over here. Yeah. Hope the camera's not too far. You can see what I'm doing. So now I have all the pieces the same on all the corners. So do I like this? I don't know. It's a little long, but it's okay. So I can put them back and then just cut this tiny piece, but that would still make it blocky for my taste. So I'm going to see, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. So I'll put all that, I'm putting that aside because we're going to work on the 8. That's going to take a bit more work. Now, be sure you have your cake board ready, which I do, and it's off to the side. So here's my 2 8s. And of course they cook differently. These are measured exactly the same by weight in each pan. Now the pans, I know, do not weigh the same, even though they're made the same time, same batch, doesn't matter. Zero out your scale, tare it, and put your batter inside your prepared pan. Tare it again to do your next one, because if you have the same amount, they should bake the same, but they never do because the composition of the pans are a bit different. One is a bit heavier, so it's gonna make it a bit fluffy. It depends on where it is in the oven, if you swap them, if you don't swap them. This is baking science. So yeah. Then you have to compensate, and that's where I come in to tell you how to fix them. Now this, I'm not taking out the humps. I want the humps because I'm loading this up with lots of treats. So I want to keep the humpiness on there because that's just extra cake. And to me, it's not even worth it if we take it off. You can, it's your cake, you do what you like. But there's not much of a difference if I turn this around. So this is a low spot. So my batter may not have been evenly distributed, which I tapped it and see this already breaks off. So don't be messing around with it too much. This is also a delicate recipe, so it's not typically my carving one, but I want this. And that's another reason why I'm not stacking it or torting it. And I am not doing too many crazy things with it, just cutting out the center so that I have the 8. And actually this is a little bit too big. Already I don't like it. So I'm gonna go down to, this is 3 7/8. I'm gonna go to a 3. And see what happens. I got this set from pastry school. It's a Teco. It's really nice. Very versatile. Probably the most versatile set I have. So let's get a ruler. So we have, okay, they're not even 8 inches. They're 7.5. So already the pans lie. It's an 8-inch pan. And it is, when you go across, inside to inside, just under 8 or just about 8. Lies, I tell you. So the 3 7/8 and the 4 are too big. Excuse me, 4 1/8 are too big. So let's do something else. I'm gonna go down quite a bit. Yeah, that's a bit better. Who are you? Now don't measure the top, measure the bottom. That's cutting it, and that's 3 inches. I like that better. So 7.5 minus 3 is 4.5. So you have 2 1/4. Should have 2 1/4 on each side. Yeah, sure do. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. Let's measure that. Also 7.5, big surprise. And then that should work. So I'm going to make them the same, but also I need to bring this back because you can put them together like this. I don't really like that. So I'm going to put those there, and I might even have to go a bit smaller because now I'm going to lose a bit of cake. So then I have to move this up a bit. I'm not going to take off too much because, you know, that's valuable real estate for the toppings. So I'm just going to get my knife. This is not going to work too nicely because I want to see it right at the moment and put them together right away. So if I cut here and then I center it, now it's humpy, so it's hard to gauge, but you get the idea. Now I can go a little bit this way because I have the two sections here. So if I did the center of this, give it a little barely a mash. It's just a guide. Oh, that didn't work. Right? And that's just a visual. Now, if I cut this off, that brings it down. And how much do I have? I mean, you can get super precise about this. Do I want to cut an inch off? An inch is about there. And then that leaves an inch. So no, I don't. So I'm going to cut like half an inch because then that leaves me with one. It should be 1.5 inches because this is, okay, it's 2 1/4. Sorry, 2 1/4, not 2 1/2. So maybe I'll take off 3/4. No, I don't like that. I still like a half. It's kind of like what's between, I guess it would be 5/8. Yeah, halfway between 1/2 and 3/4. That's about right. And then that'll leave me 1.5. So I like that. I like that a bit better. But then we have sort of, we'll figure out the center hole after that. Right? Make sure your knife is sharp and your cakes are cold again. Now let's see, you could even try this. I don't like that. So you can add the other piece on. Just cut it. There we go. Now, how much room is in between here? 2 3/4. 2 3/4. I cut that a bit high, so I'll have to move that one. And this is 2 1/4. So to me, 8s are bottom heavy. But again, it all depends on how you want to do it. I kind of like that 8s are bottom heavy, so I'm going to leave it, but I might come down a tiny bit because I don't want too much space up in here between, you know, how you would make an 8. So I think I'm happy with where they are. So before I cut it, I put this one in half. That's going to be the bottom. It's also my taller cake of the two. It domed more. I have to get new pans, but that's what happens. Even though the pans are supposedly the same, they don't cook the same. So that's fine. Then just pop it through, spin it, and that is going to make a beautiful, tiny little mini cake. Sandwich. Nom nom. This is my super vanilla cake. And make sure you grab it because it's not going to come out. And I'm going to rip it. So yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I'm going to take it out. So this one is destroyed. Though this one I'm going to eat. Probably. Now you can make cake pops out of it. Lots of uses for leftover cake. Had it stayed intact, I would have made little mini cakes. Need a bowl. Put it here for now. And now I have my 2 numbers. Bring them back together, and then I'll put them on my board, which I have prepared already. Put all my pieces in here for later. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Sarah and I might eat them. Okay, so here's the 8. Whee! Easy, right? So it wasn't that hard, as long as you have a set of cutters. Now, plastic will do as well, but these, I like the metal ones, but I had them because that's what I got in pastry school. You get a kit. So now I will have to crumb coat on the inside because this is now unfinished and there's no caramelization. So you have to crumb coat in to catch all your crumbs. And I'm going to pop this back into the fridge after that's done before I top coat it and then decorate it. Our 8 and our 0. Voila. Let's see that this catches up. 8 and 0. I'll take these off, see what I think. But again, tweak these. Oh, see, look what I did. That one's too far. Well, how did that get too far? What was yapping? So I'll need to cut this back just like I did the other one. Oh, this was the corner. Never mind. It's only one. Okay, I'm with it. So I turned it upside down. I might turn it back because I don't know what it is about my OCD that I prefer things away from the front of the cake. Technically speaking, the way you read the numbers is the front of the cake. So I'm going to turn this around and make this weird corner at the top end. This is a little different because you still have a front. Technically speaking, this is the front. So now my boo-boo is up here. Now let's write. Couldn't see what was happening. So here we are, 8 and 0. All right, so I have my buttercream ready. I have my cake board ready. And this is a big one. This is a full sheet. And it's going into a full sheet box because my numbers are pretty big. Now you can see how I'm going to get these onto the cake board as well. So I have a weird thing in my foil, but that's okay because I'm going to make it on purpose. Clean palette knife. I'm going to size these. So now I'm going to size it. So I'm just going to sit it here. I'm not going to put it down except gently to get an idea of what I'm talking about, what I need to think about to get the cake onto the board without a whole lot of crumbs. So you're going to have to clean up. That's always going to be the way of it. So you can see these will fit, and I'm getting a sense of my borders to put them on. So I have to think about the center as well. So that's about right. Now, the feet of my cooling racks are going to make impressions. So just be mindful of that. Probably gonna do the 0 first because it's bigger. And I need to make sure I keep the space, enough space for the 0. So it's gonna go about there. So sure, I could measure across and, well, let's do it. Do it properly. I tend to eyeball things just because I've done it so much, but for those that don't do it a lot, this is 24 1/4. Is it the same at the top? Just make sure. Yes, 24 1/4. So how wide are you? Are 8 and something? 8 and a half. We'll say 8 and a half. We already know that the 8s are not 8s, they're 7 and a half. So it's a little bit 7 3/4. We already know it's a bit off, but that's okay. So I will minimize the 0 when I go to decorate it and make the 8 a bit more heavy and spread out the decorations, the toppings, more so to make it look even. But again, like a cream tart, it looks uneven anyway. Just get a sense of where my numbers are. This is clean. I use this only for food. That's about right. Ish. And my 0 is an 8 1/4, right? 8, yeah. So we want to split it. How much is on the side? About 4 inches. So 4 inches in is right about here. So I already know I need to move this over a bit. So that's fine. Nobody's going to see underneath, and you can always clean it up with a bit of rag on a palette knife to clean down there, but really nobody's going to see because I'm going to have overhang. Some things are going to be wider than the cake itself, and with the buttercream and all that, you're not going to see it. All right. Make it about 3. This is Food Safe foil by Wilton. That's what I cover all my cakes with. So this is a rough estimate. This just gives me a visual. I'm a very visual person. I want to see what's going on, and I need to move this over. So I'm going to scrape off of here and now put it over there. But I know I have some room to play with, and that's pretty close. Because, again, it's not perfect here. It's, yeah, scientific. Keep your fingers straight. Let's see if that worked. 3, 3, 3, 3. How about that? I do that a lot. As long as you keep your fingers the same, you don't move them from 1 to 1, you can use your fingers as an anchor, as a guide. Just don't move your knuckles if you can. That's a way to do it. Mom taught me that. Thanks, Mom. Okay. Let's see. That's about it. Now I will reinforce this before I put down the 0 because we know she's gonna have crumbs and she's pretty delicate and she's all one piece. So do be careful when you slide your cakes off of your cooling rack. Number 1, make sure they move, but get enough buttercream on here to anchor it properly. 0. Now I have to do it opposite because there's things here. No problem. This is going to be not so bad. Here. Worry about crumbs later. I have to put this piece back on, and here's what I mean by gluing it. Now, be careful with the crumbs. See, I have crumbs on my palette knife. Now I need to get a new palette knife. Do not put it in your main supply of buttercream. You're contaminating it with crumbs. No problem. I have at least 20 of these. Blah. So that's a new one. But I also have this bigger one that I slap it on with in my main pot of buttercream, which is 8 quarts. A lot of buttercream. Go through that a lot. Okay. Now that's the the 0. I'll worry about crumbs later. Get this cleaned up. I will have to crumb coat these exposed sides of the areas I cut. And then in the same thing with the 8. The 2 humps of the 8. 2 circles, I guess. It's going to produce a lot more crumbs. Did I move this? I think I shifted it. Yeah. But that's fine. When the weight of the decoration gets on here, it's not going anywhere. All right. How does it look? It's pretty even to me. Tweak it a bit. Now it's a little bit longer, but no problem. You can trim it off if you're going to be that precise. I applaud your efforts. I am not, because as I mentioned, I'm going to fix it with the decoration. So I'll move the decoration from the bottom of here and put some decoration further down here, right? I'm pretty sure this is on the bottom. So that they look even. It's pretty close, right? Because this is the bottom. I could turn it over and do it that way, but I want to get the buttercream underneath so that it's evened out come time to final top coat it. Now be careful with catching these crumbs, because they'll get into your buttercream. So you just put them in, put them on top, whatever. And that's it. Now I'm going to crumb coat. Always use another bowl. I like the sharp edges of this one to clean off my knife when I'm doing the crumb coat. This is your crumb bunch. When you get some in here, take it up and put it back on the cake. Don't keep taking from your new one with a different spatula, because you're just adding more, and then you'll have a bunch of buttercream that has crumbs in it. And what are you going to do with it? Sure, you can use it for cake pops, but I don't have cake pops every time. So I just put an amount in it, and then that's what I use it from. So you just start at whatever area you have exposed. These are limited, so I have to, see, I just put it right back in. Now I swing mine, I usually use a cake stand turntable. See what I mean? Get one with a hard edge that won't tip over. But you can put it aside and then you just pick it up. This does not have to be neat at all. I'll do it again. So be careful when you do your crumb coat. You don't want to go through like a bull in china shop, because you'll start taking some of the cake away. And I don't want to misshape it. Misshape. But I just clean the palette knife off on top to catch the crumbs that are on the top. And again, go around. So I'll usually take my finger and clean around the inside. Use what you're given, as long as you have gloves on. And it cleans it up. Don't have to worry about a knife. But don't lick your fingers either. And that's it. Then I'm going to go through and do all of the crumb coating for the exposed parts. Then I do a top coat for the caramelized sealed parts, so that I have a nice crumb coat everywhere, because I don't want to catch, I already know there's crumbs on top. I want to catch them in a crumb coat so that they don't come off on my finish coat, which is the pretty one that has the smooth edges or whatever you're doing. Now again, I would put this on a turntable, or if it's way too big and too heavy, I just put it on the counter and swap it around, but I don't want to make anyone motion sick. So this is the hard part. Getting your wrist in angles is not usually in, but no problem. All right. So that's it for the lesson for today. I'm going to finish this up. I will post the finished product, the result in different stages, and I'll tidy this up, but I can't get at this angle. So I have to turn it around And I'm also going to chill this before I put it in, before I do my top coat, so that I don't undo the crumb coat. Does that make sense? And don't scrape too much. You'll just lift up. Don't keep going over your crumb coat. You'll just lift up the crumbs. Right? And really, that's it. Oh, I'm also going to separate these, get a little bit of buttercream in there. Open wide. So that it stays. But because I have the buttercream underneath, anchoring the cake to the board, it's not going to move. But, you know, it never hurts, right? And then I just take this, pop it on top, and I'm going to go all the way around to catch all the crumbs. It's really thin. Don't scrape too much. You'll pull up other crumbs that you didn't. And then you could be at this all day long. You don't want to do that because this is meant to be fast. It's meant to be thin. It's not the final coat, so it doesn't need to be thick. It's just to catch the crumbs. So pop it in the fridge, and then you'll do your top. When that's set, you'll do your top coat. And that's when it gets thicker, and that's the pretty side. Okay, that's it for today. Tag me with any questions. Thank you. Bye.